Now, there is no single day that I don't get a message on Messenger, on WhatsApp, or even a text message, or even an email of people asking me to find them a job or help them get jobs either here in the UK or abroad. And I have been very clear that I do not have jobs of my own. I can only connect you to opportunities that I find through my research, and more so information to help you land that job that you desire. I am a recruiter, I am a hiring manager where I work, and so I get to interact with all kinds of people. I get to prepare job descriptions, interview questions, and chair interview processes right from recruitment to the very end of hiring a staff. And I can only offer information and support you to land that job. And so I've decided to do a number of videos to help you find that job. Different questions, of course, but I'll help you as much as I can. This is Lydia. She inspires all. I would like to thank you once again for joining me. And for those that are new here, please do feel welcome. Subscribe and share this video with your friends. And for those of you who are supporters, thank you so very much. I know I have quite a number of people who either message me or email me or even call me to tell me how encouraged they are. Let's dive in. Now, this video is about getting you hired and getting you hired fast. But we've got to do the fast things first. Now, I tell recruiters and I tell people, behind every resume, behind every CV, there's a human being with hopes, with dreams, and even with inspirations, and others with families that are tied to that CV. A job is not just about you. It's not just about you. And especially for some of us who have, not only the nuclear family, but also extended family. There are so many people that depend on that job. There are so many people who depend on our jobs. So that resume, that CV is not just a resume. It's just not a paper. It holds someone's desires and even hopes, and that is why it is important for us to make sure that as we go through CVs, as we write our CVs, as we present ourselves to the panels, then we are ready. And now, there are some of you who have either applied for so many opportunities or for so many jobs, and you have not been invited for interviews, or you've been done interviews, you've been invited for interviews, the first level, second level, third level, and maybe you are not hired. Do not give up. Do not give up. You cannot give up. Maybe tomorrow will be your day. Tomorrow could be that day when you will get hired. Tomorrow could be that day when it will be your dawn. You know, it is darkest before dawn. It is very dark before dawn. And so keep going. And Richard Branson said, business opportunities are like buses, or opportunities are like buses. There will always be another one. As I said, and I want us to imagine, if there was no work, if there were no jobs, if there were no firms, if there were no companies to hire us, life would be quite boring. There would be no creativity, there would be no production, there would be no joy of listening to music. Imagine if we had no technology today. If the videos that I am doing, there was no technology, there was no resources, there were no equipment to do the work that we are doing, life would be very, very boring. And so even as you look for that job, it is important for you to make sure that you are looking for a job where you know that you are serving. And as you get that job, know that that job is not just to give you money, although money is important, but you are serving. Yes, you are serving. I wanted you to imagine that there are no jobs. Now, who am I? My name is Lydia. As I said, 20 years work experience in an organization. I'm a middle line manager. I manage a mini unit within a team, and I am at times in charge of the whole unit when my manager is away. Part of my work is hiring people. Part of the team, I have a team member who either want to join my team or have vacancies within my team. My work as a unit manager, or my work as a mini unit manager or a line manager, is to hire people, is to look at the job descriptions, is to make sure that that advert is out there, is to look at the CVs that have come and do the shortlisting, and also look at the skill sets when you present yourself to the panel. I usually chair those panels, especially when I am hiring for my team. And I also participate when other members of other teams within the organization are also hiring. Now, within the career development path, we have what I call a circle. In our career development plan, and most of the time it starts with either finding a job. But before finding a job, you have to look at them at your career aspirations. You have to look at your skills, your competencies, your CV, do the job search, do an application, and of course the company will have done an assessment. But it's also good for you to do a self-marketing or an assessment of the market, but also present yourself to the panel, do the interviews, negotiate your salary if you're to be hired, join the company, go through what we call the probation period for some of the companies, and then the onboarding process, of course, in between, before you get confirmed. Now, as we go through that circle, there is what we as recruiters, there is something that we call a recruitment cycle, where we start with the needs of the company or the needs that I have in my unit. We do write proposals, manage projects, manage grants, do fundraising. So it is to identify the need that is there in my company, then do a talent search out there, then do the talent selection, the shortlisting, as I said, the interviews for the clients, then placement, and then what we call the post-placement follow-up for the candidate. Now, first things first, you have to know what you want. You have to know the kind of job that you're looking for. Any job doesn't exist. There are people who tell me, I'm looking for any job. Any job doesn't exist. You've got to know exactly what you want. Look at your skill sets, look at your past experience, look at your experience on where you excel more. Look at your expertise, your passion, your dreams, your aspirations, your qualification, what you enjoyed most in college or in school or in higher education or in uni, what you were good at, what you thrived in, and you know what sectors that are growing as well, and it is aligned to your qualifications or your career qualifications, your hobbies, your interpersonal skills, or the other skills that are needed for the job that you're looking for, and your current state. Yes. There are things sometimes when you have to figure out exactly what you want. There are sometimes when we don't know the job that we want. Could be that is your state at that time. And maybe you just want to enter into a job market and figure out. It's also good, it is important for you to make sure that you know. Now, I'll give you 15. Maybe today I'll give you 10, and maybe another video I'll give you the rest, and one bonus, of course, of factors for finding a job that makes you happy. Someone said, or is it a saying that says that money can't buy happiness? But to work, for you to work, you've got to work to get money, unless it is a volunteer job. But you also got to make sure that that job pays your bills, pays for your food, and gives you the lifestyle that is comfortable and that aligns to you as a human being, because you need to pay your bills, unless of course you're volunteering. And money is an important factor as you look for a job, but it might not be the driving factor. The driving factor number one for me is a job that makes me happy. There are so many people that are in jobs and they are not happy. They are either struggling, they are either unhappy. They go to work, with their hearts contracting every day. I call it heart contracting every day. Their hearts contract every day as they go to work. They do not have the joy, the passion, the drive to even go to work. Yes, there are people who are like that because they are not happy. So you have to define what happiness is and draw a line on the non-negotiables. A job you love, it increases the chances of a long-term career success, fulfillment, and satisfaction. So make sure that you make the right decision. I've been hired by World Vision for the past 20 years, the same employer, and I'm happy with my job. It's something that wakes me up. I am serving as I serve communities. It's something that makes me wake up. So number one is your personality and your skills. Are your skills compatible? Your attitudes, your beliefs, and personalities compatible with that organization? Where you're making sure that your skills and your abilities are given an opportunity to gain new skills and knowledge in an area to develop. If the job suits you, then the work will be interesting and stimulating, and of course it will give you the joy. So look at your personalities and your skills. Company history. Now, a company history will give you a glimpse of the stability or how stable the company is, their values and their culture. Research about them. They will see whether they have press releases, their websites, their social media accounts. And the first things that I look at when I'm looking at a job, of course I've not been looking for quite some time, but when I was looking, what I advise people to look at is how long the company has been in business. Is the company expanding or downsizing? Does the company offer opportunities for itself to grow? Is it growing? Is it expanding? Is it a company that is grounded? Is it well known? Do you want to go into a small company or a large company? Do you want to go to a company that is growing a brand or not? What are those things that you find in social media? Does it have good reputation or not? And of course, depending on your situation, you might want a job where you will be stable and where you can work for quite some time. Number two is salary entitlement and conditions. Look at how much they are paying. Look at how much you would want to earn. Look at the compensation package. Look at whether they review their budgets and whether they have an entry salary, and whether that salary will be enough to pay your bills. Do your research quite well. Look at whether what they are offering you will be able to or will cover your budget. Don't just take any salary just because it has been offered to you, or a company that is paying too little that you're not able to cover your needs. Look at the culture fit of the company. Ask trusted people, people people that work in those companies, your mentor. Do the employers love their work? How is the turnover? How is the company doing? Diversity and inclusion issues. How are they using if you're using a recruitment company, talk to them, ask them those questions. And when you go for interviews, it is good for you to just look out and keep an eye on how people look and whether they are happy. You will notice a company where the energy is high and where the energy is low. Career progression is another thing. The opportunities for growth. Do you want to grow? Do you want to get in at an entry level, but also grow? Those are questions maybe to ask during the interview or during your research. Is it a company that offers you opportunities to progress? And I know there are people who have been in the same post for many years, and most of the time they are either demotivated, or when you don't inject the new blood in the system, then there will usually be recycles, or your skills will be recycled. Look at whether there are opportunities to develop your skills and your skill sets, and whether they have education opportunities as well. And your purpose, volunteer days, do they offer volunteer days? Do they have a purpose? Do they have a genuine purpose to serve, especially if you want to serve? Do they maybe offer days when you can go out and volunteer? Because there are companies that do that. Look at the employee benefits as well. How is not only their remuneration package, their salaries, but also other benefits that include maybe off days. If you're unwell, do they have a policy that is very clear about sick days and sick leave? Do they have insurance? Do they have parking? Do they have gym? Do they have health insurance? Do they have discounts? Do they have vacations? Or what is there? But also, if you're an international staff like I was, do they offer repatriation, or do they offer tickets to go back to your country for holidays? Do they also offer the settlement packages? Do they offer some money or a package for you to settle in a new country? How does it look like? It is good to be very clear, and especially if you're relocating with a family. Be very clear when you're negotiating your salary, so that you do not struggle. Like for me, when I relocated to the UK, I had to be very clear on the package that I would get to get my staff from Kenya and relocate. We call it a relocation allowance. I had to be very clear how much it was. And for my staff, when I am hiring new staff, I have to be very clear what the package is for their settlement. For instance, for those that are in skilled worker jobs, like I relocated on a skilled worker job, would be great to know whether that company will review or will renew your visa, so that then you do not get your family or resettle your children, and after 2 years you're returning them back to their country. Look at the package. There are companies that offer cars and fuel, and so on. Make sure that you're clear about all these benefits. Retirement package as well, and how to save for retirement. There are some that offer gratuities, but also there are some that offer pension scheme, and they match it maybe by 3% or 7% or 16%. Make sure that you're so clear. The location of the office, and nowadays we are allowed to work at home, or we have a flexible policy. How far is the office from your home? Will you be stuck in traffic jam for hours? And how will that either impact your time to either get to work or get back home? And how will being stuck in jam, for instance, affect your mentally, or affect your time to be with your family or with your children, or for other activities that could be productive? How much does commute cost, and is it factored in your remuneration package? How much will eating on the way maybe cost? Working hours as well. Does the company offer flexible working hours? Do you have what we call on-call duties? Do you have other responsibilities where you will work maybe beyond the time which is allocated? We work from 5 days for 36.5 hours or 37.5 hours or 40 hours. Are you going to be on call? Are you going to be called back from home or back to work or during the holiday or during the weekend? Work-life balance as well. Make sure that you get a job that you're able to achieve work-life balance. It is important for your health and for your well-being. There are some jobs that are quite demanding and you are not able to achieve work-life balance. Make sure that is very clear and that you understand their policies about work-life balance. The job responsibilities. Are you going to be a manager like I am? Are you going to be a senior manager? What is the responsibility that you will be entrusted to by the organization? Do you have supportive systems? Are there people to support you, to enable you perform your job well, but also be able to do what you have been hired to do? Technology, which is quite important. There are so many companies that use computers, smartphones, tablets. Before accepting a job offer, make sure that you know what technology is used in that company. If maybe you're going for an IT job, and could be systems that or softwares that you're expected to know about, make sure that you're clear about that. Recognition and appraisal. Yes, is it a company that will appreciate you and recognize and praise? Does it praise its staff for a job well done? Work environment. It is so important for you to know the company, the culture of the company that you're working in. I have seen a number of people who have transited to other organizations, and when we meet, they say, the work environment in World Vision, for instance, or the company that I work for, is really good. Is quite good. It gives you an opportunity to thrive. But other than that, it would be great to know the dressing code of the organization. And maybe last but not the least, your colleagues, which is a bonus. When maybe when you're called for the interviews, as I said earlier, it would be great to look at the other colleagues if you have an opportunity. Or when you're invited to either negotiate your salary, or if you know members of staff in that organization, it's good to look at whether they are happy, talk to them, get to understand what they do and the culture of the organization and the working environment, as we said, and how long they have been in that organization, and what keeps them there, and what makes them wake up every single day. Yes, those are just some of the things to look out to as you look for that job that will make you happy. In the next video, we will talk about how to prepare your CV, but also how to prepare for a job interview. This is Lydia. She inspires all. Please do feel at home as you watch the other videos, because I have quite a number of videos, and do share this video with your friends as well who might benefit from this video. Thank you. Bye-bye.